y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome and thank you for being here. We're going to jump right into this tutorial because there is a lot going on in this design. I'm starting with this mug from the Tumbler supply store, and the first thing I wanted to do was tape up the handle because we're going to worry about the handle later. This would probably be much easier if I had electrical tape, but at the moment when I was doing this, I had no more electrical tape. So I just wrapped it all up, made sure to get right up against the cup, but not covering any part of the cup. So I just ripped little pieces of the masking tape to get right up against that edge. And then once that's all finished, I took a long piece and I tried to split it right down the center of where the handle is. So like the line would be drawn right down the center of the handle on the mug, if that makes sense. As I've told you before, I'm not really a measurer, so we're eyeballing it the whole way through. I wanted it to be on both sides, down the side, by the handle, and the bottom, because each side is going to have a completely different design. So we need everything to be blocked off. I'm going to be spray painting the other side, so I wanted to block off this side to just avoid any overspray. And I was going to originally tape it all off, but then I realized I was running really low on this painter's tape, so I just took some saran wrap and taped it on to just cover it up. And here we go, yes, once again, with my favorite power wash technique. I'm not going to go into detail because in my last few videos, I've given you detailed power wash instructions. So on this one, I'm just going to show you a quick view of what I did. I just went back and forth with black and white. It's simple. Our overall goal is to make it look like a composition book. Once all that was dry, I removed all the saran wrap and the tape except for around the handle, and we are base coating it white because we are going to be adding glitter to this side. While that was drying, I mixed up a few of my favorite whites from Diamonds and Dust. I used a little bit of Angel Wings, Snowball Fight, and Luster Dust in the color Pure. I mixed that up, and then we are going to apply that to the white side using Crystal Wax glitter glue. let that sit for a while, and then now we are finally going to work on this handle. I removed the tape, and then we are base coating it in some white chalk paint because it dries really fast and I needed it to dry really fast. The reason I haven't added any epoxy yet is because I wanted to not overdo it on the layers of epoxy, and since the handle is going to be all glitter and the white side is all glitter, I figured we would do it all in one layer. That way it's not epoxy on the cup and then epoxy on the handle as well. So here we are, we're going to start with the handle, and we are creating a pencil look on the handle. So I took a little bit of black chalk paint with some Crystal glitter glue, and we are going to start with the black portion of the pencil, so the lead. I just wanted about as wide as my paintbrush, and I just very carefully, trying not to get that on any other portion of this cup, and painted that on, and then just sprinkled on this black glitter from Diamonds and Dust. The black glitter that I'm using today is called Black Beauty. While that is drying, I'm going to skip to the other side and mix the Crystal glitter glue with a little bit of pink chalk paint for the eraser. And then we're going to do the silver portion that, I don't know what it's called, the between the eraser and the yellow part of the pencil. And then we will do the yellow part of the pencil last. Right where the pencil lead and the yellow part of the pencil meet, I used a little bit of this caramel latte just to represent that top of the pencil portion, and then we will do the rest of it yellow. The yellow glitter that I'm using for the pencil portion is called number 2, also Diamonds and Dust glitter. I let that sit for a few hours, maybe it was even overnight, and then I took it outside and sprayed it with 2 coats of clear Rust-Oleum spray paint, and then we moved into, I cut this decal, just the little composition book front part, and I cut it out of sticker paper and then applied that to the power wash side. This mug is a little tapered, so I tried to use my heat gun to help me lay it as flat as I could without getting any wrinkles in it. It seemed to help. I just started down the middle and kind of worked my way out, trying to work out any air bubbles that might be caught with this curve. I first cut one that was way too big for it, and there was wrinkles like crazy. So I got that applied and then went straight into 2 coats of epoxy, making it as smooth as possible with a little bit of light sanding in between each coat. And then I cut just some thin stripes out of this light blue vinyl, and I spaced them evenly. I was trying to decide how exactly I was going to go about adding these onto the mug, and the best that I could come up with was to apply them all at once using transfer tape and then kind of cut down in between each line to make them lay flat because of the curve. Once I got those completely straight, or straight enough for my liking, I just trimmed off the edges and removed all that excess blue stripe. Once the blue stripe was all trimmed up, we are going to move into one of the split elements, and that is this ruler. I've had this washi tape since my scrapbooking days, so probably 10-15 years. But I really wanted to use it, so it's kind of see-through and it doesn't really give the border like I wanted it to, so I just took it and placed it right over the top of some white vinyl and then trimmed it so that the backing would not be see-through. Well, it wouldn't be see-through when I applied it to the border of the mug. Since the washi tape was pretty old, it was kind of ripping, so I had to put a lot of strips on to find the perfect little spot that I wanted to use for this border. So I just got those cut out, and then we are going to apply it on the non-handled split side and just place it right down on the border of the white and the comp book side. If you don't have washi tape like this, you could easily print something on printable vinyl and cut it out and apply it the same way, or you could just use yellow vinyl, or anything would look good right here. And then once I had that applied, I trimmed off the top and then took my X-Acto knife and trimmed up anything excess on the rim. On this side, the border, I just wanted to add a really simple silver glitter washi tape. I guess it's washi tape. I just get it with the washi tapes at Hobby Lobby. It's just a thin tape that's silver glitter. And I tried to line that up as straight as possible to look like it's one straight line going through the handle. I wanted the silver part of the pencil to stand out a little bit more, so I just added a little bit of the same silver glitter washi tape to that pencil silver area. I know in this previous clip you could see a little red stripe on there, but it was just nail tape and I didn't quite like the way it looked. The color was a little off to me, so I just took regular red vinyl and cut a thin strip to apply to this side to make it look like notebook paper, and then I used the same red vinyl and I cut out Number One Teacher so that we could apply that to the comp book side. I decided it still needed something more on this notebook paper side, so out of the same red vinyl, I cut out a very large A+, and I applied that right over the stripes. And then I didn't like how you could see the bumps of the stripes from the vinyl under the A, so I just trimmed those away because at this point I was just committed to finishing this layer all in one and then applying the epoxy. So you'll see me just kind of trim away the blue lines that are underneath the A, and then after that it was complete and it got 2 more coats of epoxy. Once those epoxy layers were added and dried, this tumbler mug was complete. I love the little pencil handle. It's just so cute. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one because there was a lot of parts to it, but if you were inspired by any way, I would love for you to give me a tag. I would love to see what you created. I'll leave all the important information down in the description box, and thank you for joining, and I'll see you next week.